יזכנו וחיינו וקרבנו למועד המשיח רחמנו יזכנו וחיינו וקרבנו למועד המשיח ולבניין בית המקדש ולחיי העולם הבא ולבניין בית המקדש ולחיי העולם הבא רחמנו יזכנו וחיינו וקרבנו למועד המשיח רחמנו יזכנו וחיינו וקרבנו למועד המשיח ולבניין בית.
Cover Bezrat Hashem, the Kavod Shabbos Kodesh. Hope everyone's doing well. Sorry for the weird time. The Kavod Purim, the Kavod Adar, Chodesh Tov. So it's Fil Bashim Kodesh our Pesach Rubim Mitzvah Zabar Bas Yehudi Sin Bas Bas Shir Bas Bas Sana Rubim Bimani Tova Bas Perel Shob Ben Chanalea Rivka Bas Razel Sui Ben Chana Lunish Ma'udi Baruch Bas Nechama Mir Shema Haven Aliyah. Support my steps on your path. This is a pasuk. Lest my footsteps fail. Master of the world, guard us and rescue us so that we will never compromise the joy of the holy festivals. May we rejoice greatly on all the festivals of Hashem, on the holy convocations, and fulfill the commandment, you shall rejoice on your festival completely. With all the festivals, details and particulars, and the 613 commandments that are dependent on it. Guard our souls so that we will not disgrace the festivals. Have compassion on us and on all the Jewish people. Guard us and rescue us so that we will not, heaven forbid, be among those who disdain the festivals, people who therefore have no portion in the world to come and are considered as if they engaged in idol worship. Rescue us from the shame that comes from the blemish of disdaining the festivals, heaven forbid. Be with us always, guard us and rescue us so that our footsteps will not slip and fall, either in the physical or spiritual realms. May no one rejoice over our blunders, heaven forbid. That's a Shem. Kavod. All right, Halakha Maisa. The reader must recite the names of the 10 sons of Haman, as well as the word Aseres, all in one breath. This is done to demonstrate, meaning to highlight the fact that they were all killed and hanged at one time. Initially, it is customary for the reader to say from the words Chamesh, Me'ot Ish, all in one breath. However, after the fact, even if he interrupted with a breath between the names of the 10 sons of Haman, he has fulfilled his obligation. Regarding the custom in some places, that the entire congregation recites the names of Haman's 10 sons, along with the reader, it is not a proper custom. Rather, the reader should recite them alone. And the congregation should listen, just as they do for the entire Megillah. When the reader recites the verse, that night sleep eluded the king, he should raise his voice, because that is where the main part of the miracles begin. When he recites the words, because of all that was written in the letter, referred to the Megillah itself, he should shake the Megillah scroll. Okay. However, we're diving in to Yom Darkecha, continuing the Seder, the Purim feast. We are fusing the spiritual within the physical, right? There's going to be food present, there's going to be wine present, there's going to be water, there's going to be all physical and spiritual things, people, all the like decorations, music, everything is going to be popping. It's going to be misibah for all of us. One big misibah. So let's just continue to envision ourselves at our table right now with the proper intentions, with the proper mindset, with the purity, thinking about what we have learned up until this point and beyond, and allow ourselves to become a vessel to receive and to give over and to radiate the light, the Or Ein Sof, that is, and the light that was that we received during the Megillah reading. So let's start. we come to these feelings, right? We spoke about two feelings yesterday. One that sits in the heart and one that translates into action. So we come to these feelings specifically through the means of eating and drinking. Eating has the power to connect the knowledge of Emunah with our most physical, substantive parts of existence. It lets in the light and the awareness until it feels so alive, so vivid, that it triggers and generates actions. This is because, in general, the avoda we have when eating is to feel amidst the eating and drinking that the enjoyment of the taste of the food and the vitality and energy that we derive from the food is in fact divine pleasure, divine light, and the divine life force. So I guess it, just reading from here, right, is people often say that, okay, also there's the whole chapter on achila and biyam drikacha. Eating is a very tough sugya, at least for me. I don't know about you guys. It's very difficult. And obviously there's a lot of approaches to eating. But one thing that I hear commonly is like, all right, we eat our food in order to do X, right? In order to learn, or in order to do chesed, in order to give us the strength to do this. It's like taking a nap, right? And all of a sudden becomes a mitzvah. Right? We take a nap, and we're that 20-minute nap is part of the mitzvah itself. So what was I saying? Right, how it feels so alive when we eat, says Rav Itchmar, and it triggers this emotion that will translate into action. Right. So I feel like here, I feel like that was the connection, right? It's to feel amidst the eating, drinking, the enjoyment, and the taste of food, and the vitality. Yeah. But we're trying to get to a level of when we're eating the food itself, that is the avoda. That is also part of the avoda. Like learning, like doing chesed, like davening. That is the avoda. So one should contemplate how the physical food which he sees before him is merely a vessel, a wrapper for the divine light, and that is the divine light within it, which is the real pleasure. So just like we are a vessel to receive this light daily at every single moment, and we are therefore supposed to attach to it and to give it over to Israel. Same too with this food, right? This food is helping us out. It's helping us find the sparks within the food. This really awesome divinity within it, right? And this tanug, that is all from the food. The food is also a vehicle to help us ascend towards God. Right, so the outer layer of the food is just a wrapper. It's like a candy wrapper, right? We open up the candy wrapper. I just got a Walgreens sucking candy from the Rebbe, right? So on the wrapper itself, that is the klipa, so to speak. And then when we take off the wrapper, there we have it, the sucking candy. So there we have it, the divine light. That is the real pleasure, the divine light. We think it's so crazy because we think that the wrapper and the peel itself is the pleasure. It's the actual food. It's teva. It's teva. I mean I, right? Could think it's teva, but that's not the real pleasure. Like we could have the most awesome taste, which is also from Hashem, but like the real stuff, the amazing stuff is within the food itself. So that's what we're trying to get to. The pnimius, just like we're trying to connect to the pnimius of people and ourselves in Torah and Tefillah, we're trying to connect to the pnimius of food. But it's really hard because it's extremely, extremely physical. And then when he experiences it in this physical sense, the taste, the pleasure, and the enjoyment of the food, he will translate them into his mind, into what they really are, a spiritual delight of dveikud, attachment to the Creator. The power of Kedusha, the sacredness in the act of eating, is very great, and it is possible to attain it by thinking of the Creator while eating, that there's such a strong feeling of the reality of Hashem to the point that out of the pleasure and the light of Hashem, a person can feel burning emotions and longings causing him to cry and sing out to Hashem. And this is the great avoda of Purim feast. While eating and drinking, a person is meant to instill within him the divine truth more and more until the light becomes turned into practical feelings, which will push him to get up and dance, shout out, daven, sing, and rejoice. So it's crazy. Like we read this right now, and we're like, how can food really allow? Like I guess we all had that experience before, a geschmack chicken soup Friday night, or ribs from our families or from friends, the oily meats from yeshiva, right? And we jump up for joy. We're like, Gavald, this is it's such a good taste, right? The food is so good. We want more and more and more and more, right? And it's crazy when we start understanding like the sugya of eating, which we think maybe like something that we don't really focus on, but really it's the second chapter of Biyam Derkecha, and it's something that we do daily, multiple times a day, and for me all day. It's really special what we can accomplish from the act of eating. Like just imagine, like we steal Torah, like Rabbi Nachman tells us, and we could be on a train, we could be on a bus, we could plug in our headphones, and people look to us and be like, how can they be learning Torah? It may not even cross their minds that we're learning Torah. But same too with eating. We could be out with our business partners and be at a table and completely be in the higher realms, just be attached to the food itself, the insides of the food, right? And maybe we'll start dancing with our clients. Who knows? But B'ezrat Hashem, we should all merit the light of the food that we eat. Calm down. It's really like it's difficult. It's so difficult. It's something that I struggle with. The world struggles with. I just found out like a crazy percentage of obesity around the world, and how it's going to raise to like 83%, something like that, in 2030. Right now it's like at 65. I'm probably making up these percentages, but I heard somewhere last week. It's difficult, and then but what's crazy is that like we go if we're trying this avoda, we may think that okay, I actually lost the page, but it was a geschmack. We got the page now that we're on. Let's just right. So the Baal Shem Tov says, quotes the pasuk in Shemot, or actually this is in Vayikra, somewhere in Vayikra. You shall eat your bread and be satisfied. Baal Shem Tov says it is news to the Jewish people that their eating will not cause them to be earthly minded, but you shall eat your bread and be satisfied with no need for more. Right? It's crazy how oftentimes we could set out a plate for ourselves, and we're completely full, but we think we need more. Seem to like, because it's so physical, we think that we need more physicality, right? So we do more physical things from the food. The food mamish is the cause for it's connected to so many things, so many things. And what's crazy about Purim is that everything we eat is kadosh. The whole act of eating is kadosh, and yet it's a feast. We may think that it's like the hardest thing to really connect to the divine light. Now I'm going overtime. I'm just spewing, but the divine light from like a hotel breakfast, continental breakfast, key and peel, right? And the more food we throw onto our plates, like it just gets that much harder. But on Purim, it's all kadosh. But B'ezrat Hashem should just give us a little window into the act of eating, the holiness of eating. Eino Mavado, the divine sparks within. B'ezrat Hashem, let's fire it up.